Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp, and today we are gonna talk about another beer from abroad, a beer from quite far this time. You guys have noticed that I made some videos with the Broke Belgian a few weeks ago, and of course good friends never come empty-handed. So he came back with some beers from Thailand, and today we're gonna talk about Chang Espresso Lager. Now, this is a beer that really piqued my interest because it's a coffee infused beer. I'm not the biggest fan of coffee, but hey, an infused beer that will work for me. But let's talk about the brewery first. First of all, this is a rather young brewery, but apparently the beer phenomena is quite young in Thailand. Apparently they started really brewing somewhere in the early 90s. Of course they knew beer before that, but they started on a large commercial scale quite late. And just like we have some large breweries in the world like AB InBev and such that brew many beers, they have three huge brewing concerns, let's say. But Chang, as a daughter of Thai Bev, is one of those. Now, first off, many Thai beers are named after animals. Like Singa is named after a mythical lion. There's Leo beer, there's Tiger beer. They also all use animals as a logo. So the Phuket beer has a parrot, I believe, or a toucan. And Chang is not different in that respect. They use two elephants under a nice golden palm tree as a logo, and that is just because Chang is Thai for elephant. Not every name of every beer needs a 15-minute history lesson. And again, I like simplicity. Now, I do like the color scheme of this beer as well, and that is the same in all Chang beers. I have said before, oftentimes the large beers in countries have a green and a red brand, sometimes a blue one as well. But this is Thailand's green brand, Chang. Of course, that's not the whole story. The deep green and the gold and a bit of red do stand for certain parts of Asian culture. Bear in mind that Thailand is a Buddhist country, and they do carry their philosophy in many things that they do. Now, Chang itself actually started in 1994. They did their first brew in Ayutthaya in May 1994, but it was not until March 1995 that they officially launched the brand and the official beer Chang. Apparently they had some great marketing. Well, they had mainly a lot of marketing, but they also brew good beers and they went under the price of other brands. And so by 2000, so only in 5 years, Chang became the largest seller in Thailand and partnered up with Carlsberg. Now, I have found websites that say that Chang only has a 20% market share and that Singa has 68%. Nonetheless, those numbers are public and Chang is the largest. They did partner with Carlsberg for distribution, but in 2003 Carlsberg actually blew up that partnership. In 2005 they actually had to pay a fine for that. And Chang started working together with another company, and these days they work with Interbev, not to be confused with AB InBev. Interbev is the International Beverage Company, which is another different country. Chang mainly makes low fermented lagers or pilsners. Well, they only make low fermentation beers, and they are all around 5% ABV. Some go 4.2 for the light version, some go 6.5, those are the heavy ones. And the original, the Chang Classic, which is meant for the local market, is more of an amber colored beer, which is a bit higher in ABV and is brewed with malted barley and rice. Why? Well, of course, being an Asian country, rice is very present over there. But for example, here in Belgium, Duvel Moordget also brews vedette with rice. I'll post a link up here somewhere. And that is because rice is a lot easier to digest. So if you ever have a stomachache but you are feeling like having a beer, find yourself a Chang Classic or a vedette Pilsner. But I digress. So these Chang Classic beers probably are higher in ABV because in Thailand there is, or in parts of Thailand, there is a habit of drinking their beer with ice. And yeah, if you water down your beer, you'd rather have a stronger beer. Contrary to that, they also export beers. Those are a bit lower in ABV, around 5%, but those are very commonly found. Even here in night shops or in Thai restaurants, we can have ourselves a Chang or a Singa. Chang also has a particular strand of branding, like many beers. Jupiler here did that as well, and I do believe that Miller in the USA and Budweiser surf on that same wave. They do market their beer with all things fun and anything that's recognizable, whether it's sports, football, beach volleyball, playing pool, going out, having a drink, going to the cinema, outdoor sports, all those things. And they have a slogan which is, we don't brew beer, we brew friendship, which reminds us of that other green beer, Heineken. Wij brouwen geen bier, wij verkopen gezelligheid. Yeah. Anywho, marketing is a big part of beer, I am well aware of that. And so Chang also has a knack of sponsoring British soccer teams. I believe they sponsored Everton in the past and now they're sponsoring Leicester City, but I don't know anything about soccer or football, so don't quote me on that, please. They are a Buddhist or a brewery in a Buddhist country, and they do brew in the tradition of Lamiat. And Lamiat is a philosophy that stands for looking beyond the ordinary. So they want to get everything out of their product when it comes to quality. We'll see about that. But they do have a cupboard full of awards to support that claim. This beer, the Chang Espresso Lager, coffee infused beer, Asian blend, an alcohol content of 4.8% and 490 milliliters. So I'd say this is a small crowler, to quote Yo again. Coffee infused beer with a blend of coffee beans selected from Thailand, Laos and Vietnam. That's about everything there is to see on the can, or at least everything that I can read. Except for one slight detail. Just like the Chang Classic, this beer is brewed with malted barley and rice as well. The can is a bit bruised and battered, but so would I be if I spent, 16 hours on planes and boats and trains. So again, Broke Belgian, Famo, thanks a lot for carrying this in your carry-on luggage. He brought 2 beers together, that's like 1 kilo of his luggage that was dedicated to me, so I'm very, very humble and happy about that. As I said, this is a coffee infused beer. This is a lager, a low fermentation beer. Now, mostly, if we have beers that are coffee flavored, those are stouts or porters, and the flavors come from the Maillard reaction in the burning of the malts. Oftentimes, those are very dark roasted malts, and that's where the coffee flavor comes from. Here, the coffee flavor comes from the roasted coffee beans, because no roasted malts were added. I'm very curious about that and how that will turn out. This beer alone won at the World Beer Awards in 2021 in Australia, I believe. Not only gold for the flavored beers, but also gold for packaging. And it is an absolutely beautiful can. It does have a Thai township lined out here as well. So they are very proud of not only their awards, but also the fact that they just use organic products and locally sustainably sourced products. Okay, I can get behind that. And this beer, like I said, the Chang Lager is available in Belgium and in the UK as well. But this particular beer, the Espresso Lager, is only sold in Thailand, Singapore, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. So it's an exclusive for Europe. Of course, many Europeans that went to Thailand have had this before. Nonetheless, let's just dive right in. Of course, I don't have any Thai beer glasses, so I'm using my old trusted tasting glasses. First off, ooh, smells like a light coffee, like a macchiato or something. Also smells a bit like cookies. So there must be some, I'm not gonna say roasted malts, but some darker malts. And I do get some carbonation and a bit of tingling in the nose, so a bit of alcohol. Okay, yes, very coffee-like. Very curious for that color, because honestly, before starting this review, I haven't checked it out online, or at least I did look for the info, of course, but I haven't checked out the beer itself online. That is a very beautiful color. That's a nice orangey browny amber, light brown, a bit like a cold brew. Some large bubbles, a small head of foam, some also medium to large bubbles, so it would be dissipating quickly probably, but an absolutely beautiful amber brownish color. Okay, pleasant surprise already. Yeah, and this is where I get that smell of beer and coffee at the same time. Now, I have a friend, Randy, and he used to drink, or he used to order a duvel and an espresso at the same time, and he would nip both, or sip both, to get that mixed flavor. But he, of course, ordered two strong variants, so an espresso and a duvel, very strong beer and a strong coffee. And I'm not surprised that that works. I actually never tried it with him. Maybe I should have, but that was before my brewing days. But this actually smells, yeah, quite pleasant. A rather light coffee scent and that beer smell actually go hand in hand. How can I illustrate this? This reminds me, we have these small coffee shops in Antwerp, and I don't mean a coffee shop like the Cafe Nation or Starbucks. I mean a coffee shop where you buy your beans. Some of them even roast them in-house. Shout out to the Kloosterstraat. But it actually sort of smells like entering those shops. Like they're not actively burning or anything, but yeah, the smell still lingers there. That's how this smells. Also smells like childhood memories. Okay, let's dive right in. I'm very curious for the taste now. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. This actually, for the first sip I took, tastes like a slightly citrusy lager beer, which is not uncommon in Thailand or in Southeast Asia in general. They often brew their beers with a slight citrusy aftertaste there, and I seem to get that from this beer as well. It does taste very light, and I mean the mouthfeel, the alcohol content, only 4.8%. Slightly watery. It's like having a soda water with beer flavor and coffee flavor, but the coffee flavor in the initial taste is present, but not overwhelming. It's not dominant, but it does really slip in the back of the throat, and the aftertaste is all coffee. Actually more, yeah, cafe latte or macchiato or something like that. So a light creamy coffee, which is a contradiction with the initial flavor. So the initial flavor is more of a bean flavor, a coffee bean flavor. Yeah. But I do love that contrast between a crisp lager, that slight sour edge, which could come, by the way, from the beer, but from the coffee beans as well. And then the transition into like the roof of your mouth, because that has taste buds as well. Not as many, but it does have taste buds as well. And that's where the suede coffee flavor gets picked up. Then we go to the throat, and the aftertaste is like that really creamy coffee taste. So yeah, this is actually lovely. I see how they won those awards. Yeah, I just let some air in to boost that carbon dioxide and a bit of that ethanol, but it also boosts those burnt aromas. So by letting the air in, I do boost that coffee aroma, that strong flavor. But like I said, as soon as you swallow, it transitions into this suede creamy coffee flavor. So yeah, well done. Another pleasant surprise, another great gift, by the way. So again, thanks a lot to the Broke Belgian. I'll post a link to his channel here again. And yeah, let's leave it at that. I am struggling because, for starters, I'll have to put this in a playlist with Pilsners and Lagers, but also in the infused beers. And then how should I score this? This is so unique. I do think that this is one of a kind. Yeah, I am gonna score this like 7.5. So 3.5, 3.75 and Untapped, just because it's so innovative and it is a very pleasant surprise. Honestly, I can imagine this like having some Thai dishes, some for me mildly spicy food, and pairing this beer with that. I think that would be awesome. I think that the creamy aftertaste goes hand in hand with the spicy taste of the soups and the salsas. And I actually think that this is a great beer to have after a lunch meeting or something like that. Or just in the evening if you want a light beer while watching TV or something. Get you some sweet chili crisps or something to go along. Yeah, I think there are quite a bit of possibilities for this beer. It also looks a bit like coffee even, because of that very thin layer of foam that stays. Looks a bit creamy as well, mainly from the top. But anywho, yeah, pleasant surprise. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. I still surprised that subscribers keep going up and watch time keeps going up. So thanks a lot for that. I'm very humbled about that as well. If you like this video, let me know, hit that thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, remarks, anything, or if you have any requests, if I have to check out something. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever I upload something, and I'll leave it at that and enjoy this a bit further. See you guys, I think next week, or at least in the next video for the next beer. Cheers, you guys.